Is it?
It comes out to the far side here, doesn't it?
Yeah.
I cannot believe it.
What a save this is on the line.
Cuts it back really well. I lose it, but
I think it's Thomason just takes a chance and gets in there.
The thing is, he's having such a great World Cup. You'd have thought I'd have hit him and flown in, but.
And watch the England player on the post. I believe it's Kieran Dyer. Watch him duck. He wasn't going to head that at 3-0, was he?
But you know, every time that the Danes asked the question, England were in there, they were blocking, they were heading, they were tackling, and it was never in doubt. I mean, Peter made the point, you know, the goal before half-time, effectively it was over.
Yeah, not too many chances for Denmark, Peter,
No,
but and when they did, Seaman was there, made a good save.
He was there. He was. This is who's that?
that was close.
Again.
Danish fella.
Yeah.
The boy.
Yeah, it was the boy. That's the boy.
You don't want it to be
This
predictable.
is tremendous play by Klaus Jensen, but the anticipation of Seaman there is fantastic.
It was a great block initially by Ashley Cole.
I don't think if he's chipped that to the other post, I don't think Seaman would have got there, but he got a hand to that. But at that time, it was unimportant because I think it was 5 minutes from the end.
OK, let's hear from two more key players from England, Michael Owen and Rio Ferdinand, with Damien Johnson.
OK. Michael, Rio, well done. Michael, first of all, relatively easy tonight, wasn't it?
Well, it's nice when you score a goal early on and you know, and then get another couple more, and then it's a lot easier for the team. It settles everyone's nerves.
Your goal must be particularly pleasing. A bit of a drought in the first round.
Yeah, I never managed to score, but obviously we were involved in a lot, being a striker and playing in the great England side. You're going to be involved in a lot of movements and whatever. So, you know, I played a small part in you know, helping the team get through, and thankfully I got off the mark today.
I have to ask you about the injury. You came off at half-time. What was the problem?
Well, I felt something in my groin after a couple of minutes, and I mean, I could have probably stayed on, but when you're 3-0 up at half-time, there's, you know, and looking as if you're going to win or barring anything stupid happening, then, you know, I don't think there's any point in trying to risk it for the second half.
Rio, you're in the last days of the World Cup, and your first international goal tonight.
Yeah, it was brilliant to get on the score sheet today, but the really important thing was getting us through, and we managed to do that, so definitely it was blinding.
I have to tell you, there's some suggestion it might have been an own goal.
Michael knows it's my goal. They all know it's my goal. They can't take that from me, as I said. But no, so it's nice to get on the score sheet, but it's nice to win, and we want to go through the next round, and we'll wait to see who we play.
A word about this defensive partnership you and Sol have struck up. 18 games you've gone without losing for England.
That's the first I knew about that, but yeah, it's good for us. As I said, the team are working on our shape and working defensively as a unit. And if we continue to do that, then hopefully we'll only improve.
Just a word about the supporters as well. They've behaved themselves and they've got behind the team wonderfully.
Yeah, they're mad. They were doing the Congo and the Mexican wave out there, so it's brilliant. As I said, hopefully we can keep them smiling and keep them happy at home and continue to celebrate, hopefully.
Next up, Michael, Brazil or Belgium?
Yeah, well, obviously there's been a lot of surprises in the tournament so far, so I wouldn't put it past Belgium to give Brazil a game, but everyone knows how good Brazil are. I think they're favourites for the tournament now, so whoever we meet is going to be another tough game. We've had a lot of tough games already, but it's going to be an extra special game, that one.
Certainly will be. Now, this time tomorrow, it'll be the turn of the Irish.
What you've been waiting for.
I've never felt so good. I've never felt so strong. Nothing can stop us
Yep, join us tomorrow for Spain versus the Republic of Ireland. Coverage again starts at 11:30. Every day's a good one in this World Cup, and it continues.
It was a great day for England. Your favourite line, individually very good, collectively they were brilliant.
I thought I've heard you say that before.
Just delighted that the boys are through, you know, and I don't care who we play. I really do feel quite confident now. And the boys, I'm sure, the way you speak, Rio speaking of Michael, we're ready for anyone. I think we'll beat anybody now.
terrific performance, and can we get too optimistic, or we get carried away? I mean, there's a long way to go, but
There's a long way
it's
to
on,
go.
isn't it?
But no, there is a long way to go. But you know what I get from just seeing the interviews there, and their confidence about the players.
Exactly.
Correct.
Does that come
Correct,
across?
yes, it comes
That's what I'm
across
saying.
very
And
much so.
That's what I think. I think them
Very
players
much
are
so.
ready
Starting to believe they can do it, man.
I think we're up for it.
Yeah, Peter, thanks for coming in today. We appreciate that. I mean, we understand it's been a bit difficult for you, but you've been a good sport. And final word from you?
Well, I'm obviously disappointed Denmark are out, but I think once they get home, they will see that they've had a good World Cup, and I'm delighted that, you know, England are going through. I've got many friends in that team, and I hope, obviously, that England's going to go and win the World Cup now.
Nice one.
That sounds quite good, doesn't it? Just,
England against Brazil. What a prospect that is.
Yeah.
you never know. Gentlemen, thanks very much. It's been a delight today. We've all enjoyed it. Terrific. So, England are 2 games from the final. Bring on the Belgians. Goodbye.
Only great tennis players can cut it on grass at Wimbledon. It takes physical strength, mental toughness, and oh yeah, a little bit of luck. Gotta do everything in your power, because there's a fine line between winning Wimbledon and not.
Live and interactive on BBC Television and BBC Radio 5 Live.
Enough practice.
Wimbledon on the BBC. No one hits harder.
The truth's out. You bit her so hard you broke the skin with every tooth.
What's going on between you and the cop?
But the law... No, you raped her.
Think about that again, Dr. Stone.
...is on the wrong side of the track.
You might be just a bit out of your depth here.
Is there something about him you'd like to tell me? Tell me. What would you do? No one's going to say I didn't do my bit to stop the bad guy.
Casualty. Tonight at 8:20 on BBC One.
Is this the worst day of Jack Bauer's life? 24, Sunday at 10 on BBC Two.
See Lennox Lewis take on Mike Tyson. That match is on BBC One tonight at 11:10. Right now, an afternoon of sport in Grandstand with Sue Barker.
afternoon. Has there been something else going on this lunchtime? Because here at Queen's, it's just like any other day.
I still believe it when you say it's another perfect day, another perfect day. I still believe it when you say it's another perfect day, another perfect day. Perfect day, another perfect day. I still believe it when you say it's another perfect day,
Yes, 3-0 has gone down very well here, but now let's talk tennis. You may need a little bit of time to relax and recover after all the emotion, but don't worry, you don't have to get patriotic again until later this afternoon. Aussie pride is at stake first today, and they don't come any tougher, any more committed than Leighton Hewitt.
I'm seeing the ball well out there, I'm returning, I'm moving extremely well, and that's what I need for my game. But it's actually been good for me to get a few different type of guys out here. I've had the experience in Todd Martin, I've had the young up-and-comer in Fish the first round, and then Rockus playing from the baseline. So I've had all different kind of players, and it sets me up well for going into a Grand Slam.
From the flying Aussie to the flying Dutchman, Shen Scholken. He has the honour of facing the world #1 and defending champion.
Put your hands together one time. I want you to get together.
I have great respect for Leighton. He's so young and he achieved so many things already. I played him, I think 2 weeks ago in French. I lost third round to him. It was a good match. And it was just a little bit better. It was not much. So yeah, I'm going to try my best.
I want you to get together. I want you to get together.
The second semi-final features another Dutchman, Raymond Slaughter. His last 2 opponents have retired hurt. Will the jinx continue? Home fans hope not.
Tim is a great player on grass, and I know his game, and I think he knows mine. We played once before, so it's going to be very tough, also with the crowd behind him. But it's going to be a very good test for me to see where my grass court game is at this moment.
And making up for Holland not being in the World Cup.
Why did you have to bring that up?
Tim has got to put the football result behind him and focus not on getting the ball in the net, but over it, and continue to improve.
You want to be sort of stretched, you want some tough matches to try and get through. You want to make sure that you do come away with a win. You don't want to be packing your bags. I felt like in the first set I played some pretty good tennis, but was outplayed, and that's why I take a lot of positives, a lot of confidence away that I was able to turn that around, up my game, and played some really good tennis to get through to the semis.
Tim will be on later on. It's semi-finals day here at the Stella Artois Championships. First on court, Leighton Hewitt, the defending champion, against Shen Scholken, the #5 seed, and then Raymond Slaughter, another Dutchman, against the #2 seed, last year's finalist, Tim. That will be later. And Tim was very happy to be second match on. He wanted to enjoy the football. And Pat, in honour of the England captain, you have changed your hairstyle again. Very nice. What do you think, John?
Magnificent. I can get rid of it, don't worry. I can get rid of it pretty quickly.
But it's been amazing here today, hasn't it? All morning, everyone's been talking about the football. Every TV set around here has been...
Couldn't get a seat anywhere.
It was great. But they had to play one doubles match out on court number 1.
No.
But the only people that watched were the families of the players involved. It was empty.
Did you enjoy that?
It's quiet on the streets as well. Riding my bike around a little bit, it was very quiet.
It was, and also it was funny because we saw pictures of Tim Henman watching the football there, but his coach, who's from America, Larry Stefanki, he didn't understand it at all. He just wanted to know what was happening in the golf, didn't he? In the
They don't know what the fuss is going on about. You know, all the Americans, they don't get it. They don't, but their team's still in too.
I know.
And they don't care.
No, well, you live over there. You know they don't care.
I know, it annoys me.
But it really has. I mean, it's lifted the spirits all around here, and I think that's going to have an effect on Tim and Greg and all the British players this summer.
Oh, absolutely. I think it's been. I mean, you've got Lennox Lewis with the boxing. I think it all helps. You know, and I think the mood of the whole country's been lifted by our sport in the last couple of weeks, and long may it continue in the next few weeks.
Now, we're probably biased, but you can say, I mean, what did you think of England's performance then? Because we're biased.
Oh, unbelievable. I mean, you know, to get through to where they've got through, it's fantastic. I mean, fingers crossed they can keep going.
Yeah, it's Brazil next then. Could be if they beat Belgium, but we're presuming.
Yeah, the way the World Cup's been going, who knows what's going to happen in the next result. So, fingers crossed, yeah. But,
we won't look too far. We'll celebrate today. It's
Absolutely.
been fantastic. What about Tim though in this match against Slaughter, Raymond Slaughter? You know, he's come through 2 matches where his opponents have defaulted, so we don't really know too much about him here.
Well, we don't, but earlier on in the week he beat Max Mirny, who's, you know,
Seeded
for people,
4,
seeded 4, who has a huge serve. And Schlauter returned his serve at some points like it wasn't even there, and he's dangerous. I mean, he's actually quite similar to Tim's opponent yesterday, Lee. He won't serve volley all the time, he'll mix it up. He will come in occasionally, but the return of serve is dangerous off both wings, and not an easy match, and particularly when you haven't played your opponent very often. It's tough to get a game plan. But I think as the weather is getting a bit better, the courts are getting a little bit firmer, the atmosphere is quicker, and it'll help Tim. I think he'll get a little bit more pace on the serve, which is what he's been needing.
But is it enough? Because we've had rain yesterday, quite heavy rain on that, and you know what, the grass courts, when you've had that, it's slow, and it's going to help a lot of the people from the baseline.
well, yeah, it will. But I tell you what, Slaughter's been playing out in the outside courts there, and you know mainly, and they're slow out there. I mean, there's no doubt about it. Against Mirny, that would have helped a lot. Colder conditions. It's going to help Tim today. There's no doubt about that. But you know, Slaughter double hand both sides. Those guys seem to return really well. They just have better control. It's like Leighton Hewitt give him the other side as well. I mean, boy, have they got a lot of control. So as you know, as John said, it's going to be tough. You know, it's going to be tough. But that match yesterday for Tim was perfect. It was a real, you know, he had to really work hard. And
give him a lot of confidence.
That's going to knock you into form. There's no doubt about that.
Well, you mentioned Leighton Hewitt. He's on court. We're going to go to that match in just a minute. I know you're going to the commentary box, but John, just talk about this Leighton Hewitt against Shen Scholken. Again, a name, although he's seeded 5, a name that a lot of the British public wouldn't know.
Well, not many, but if you remember, he had those 2 epic matches in '99 and 2000 at Wimbledon. One where he lost to Jim Courier, I think it was 13-11 in the 5th, and the other one against Mark Philippoussis, where he lost, I think, 2018 in the 5th. So he knows his way around the grass court. Again, a dangerous opponent, but Leighton Hewitt likes a target, and he's going to get a target today, and it's tough to see anyone other than Leighton Hewitt winning that match.
OK, thanks very much. Well, as I said, Pat is on his way to the commentary box. The match got underway just a few moments ago. It's on serve in the first set. Hewitt is serving at 1-2. Let's join David Mercer.
Thank you, Sue. You join us at a good time because it's the first time either man has been threatened on serve. First 3 games going with serve, all 1-15. But now Hewitt finds himself love 30 down. Just long, and we've had an awful lot of those long baseline rallies, and Schalken, interestingly, is hardly offering Hewitt a target at all. He's decided to play Hewitt from the back of the court.
And how often do we see Leighton Hewitt come up with a good serve at the right time? His service percentage was very low yesterday, but he seemed to just come up with the aces or the big ones when it counted.
bit of a breeze out there, as we've had all week. Nice to see a bit of sunshine. Quite a few grey clouds around, as you can see.
Game Hewitt.
Hewitt responds well to being love 30 down.
2 games on.
Clayton Hewitt hasn't dropped a set in reaching the semi-finals. Chang Shalkin dropped just the one against Jan Michael Gamble, the American, in the 3rd round.
15 left.
Hits the ball pretty flat on the forehand, Chang Shalkin.
30 left.
Yeah, absolutely. He's hitting this one. He's got enough height to be able to hit the ball down. And that's why he hits quite a lot of winners off that wing. It's interesting, his backhand is, he also hits flat. Very side on that backhand.
Left. Game Shalkin.
First love game of the match.
Shalkin leads 3 games to 2.
Chang Shalkin, 3 service games, and so far he has conceded just 2 points. That's pretty impressive from the Dutchman, who was the US Open Junior Champion back in 1994. Now, let's hear from Leighton Hewitt, who spoke before the match to Chris Bailey.
Is Leighton Hewitt a better grass court player than he was this time last year?
I felt like I was playing pretty well on the grass last year as well. Just had a bit of a slip up, I suppose. Played a few bad points against Escudé in the 4th round of Wimby. But apart from that, it was pretty faultless, I thought. So I think I'm hitting the ball as well as then at the moment. But obviously the main goal is to do well at Wimby this year, and we'll have to wait and see.
It would be good if he could do well at Wimbledon, because so far Patty's underperformed a little bit.
Yeah, he has. I think at the end of the day, Leighton has the ability to be able to get off the clay and come straight on here to the grass courts and pick up his game, very quickly. What happens a couple of weeks later is that everybody else has picked up their game, and so it is generally tougher for him. But I think it's just a matter of time before he does well, and I think this year is the obvious year that he's going to break through.
15 left.
Well, he's certainly finding a nice rhythm on the serve now. Second ace.
Left.
Interesting. I'm not sure if that was actually a tactic to hit the ball short, but Todd Martin did very well against Hewitt by hitting quite a lot of short balls, but he was at the net usually behind it. Oof. Really opened up nicely on that one.
Game Hewitt.
Very impressive serving.
3 games on.
For aces, and 68% of first serves in for Leighton Hewitt.
Both players serving a good percentage. Schalken, 71%.
15 left.
Sheng Schalken is playing at the Stella Artois for the first time. He's had some success at the grass court tournament played in the Netherlands next week in Toggenbosch. Been a quarter-finalist there a few times, and as John Lloyd was mentioning, has done pretty well at Wimbledon. Some epic matches.
Looks like he's going to change his racket. Oh, everyone complained about something.
Maybe a little bit of noise on the... Oh, no. Well, maybe he's calling for the trainer, because Steve Ulrich is on the walkie-talkie to the supervisor, Thomas Karlberg. So maybe he's got a slight problem. We've had too many injuries this week. Wayne Ferreira yesterday, of course. Carol Kuchera the day before.
Oh, a bit unfortunate there, Schalken just clipping the top of the tape.
15-30.
Just slowed the ball down, but, you know, it's going to be difficult to get past Hewitt anyway. If you go cross court, you've really got to hit a winner, because he's got the whole line to hit it down.
Well, Leighton's so quick, but he needed roller skates.
Leighton's really trying to work Schalken's backhand, and for a good reason. That forehand is very flat and very powerful. You got the one forehand, put it right across the court like a bullet, low over the net, and drag Leighton out of position.
Oh. Terrific point. Who says you don't see rallies on a grass court?
4 games to 3.
But of course it all depends on the style of player, and here we have two men who are very comfortable at the back of the court, and now here comes the trainer, and while he goes about his business, we can hear from Sheng Schalken talking about the sort of match this is going to be.
I think you will see a lot of baseline rallies, because it doesn't make too much sense for me to go to the net, because he is the best counter player and with passing. So I think you will see a baseline match.
The case so far, it has been a baseline match. Now, what we can do while the treatment is going on is introduce you in a little more detail to Sheng Schalken, 25 years of age, from Vet in the Netherlands. 6'3", currently 34 in the world in the entry system, 62 in the race. Never really performed to the limit of his ability in the Grand Slams, Pat. Never got beyond the third round in any of them. Bit disappointing, that.
Yeah, he just doesn't seem to have any big weapon, and it's difficult when you've got to come up against guys, you know, who are the world's best. You've really got to be able to threaten them with something. And as solid as he is, we've seen him play some very good tennis this week and today already. You really do have to have some big weapon, whatever it happens to be. I mean, Leighton has got his speed and his guts, amongst other things, but they're the exceptional things that he has. Schalken doesn't quite have those.
Love 15.
Hewitt having the opportunity then, slightly slower ball, decided to try and drag Schalken out of court by whipping it short over the net. So he's thinking of ways to move Schalken around.
Love 30.
First double fault of the match, and again Hewitt finds himself love 30 down. And as you were saying, Pat, he's got the happy knack at the moment of serving really well when he's under pressure.
He always has had that. I mean, that's one of the reasons why he's a champion. Because he's not a tall guy. He hasn't got a lot of pace on that serve of his. What he does do is he goes for the lines. He goes for the centre line, or he goes for the side lines, and he hits them. The races. Schalken had quite a few chances in that point to really hit a ball and come in. He's just doesn't quite have that power off the ground strokes, does he?
And he's also, I think, very concerned about the reputation of Hewitt as one of the great counterpunchers in the game.
So you've got to finish the point somehow, though. If you get a short ball on your forehand, you've got to go for it.
40-30.
That's good play, going back behind Hewitt.
Deuce.
Got a little extra pop out of this forehand. Just flew off the racket just a little bit faster. I don't think he actually attempted to put more power into his swing. Just caught it perfectly.
Hewitt getting fired up in typical Hewitt fashion.
Advantage Hewitt.
Is the extra little bit of power that champions need. 84 miles an hour. Straight down the line when he sees a little bit of a gap.
Deuce.
Second double fault from Hewitt. This is the first deuce game of the match. Oh, right in the corner, beautiful placement.
Advantage Hewitt.
No holding back, full rotation from the hip. Oh.
Deuce.
Will we describe that as a shank, Matt?
He was very side-on his serve, Leighton. You can see, practically see his whole back there. So he's very side-on, so he's coming around the side of the ball very, very sharply. And he's going to hit a few of those.
Advantage Hewitt.
Of course, coming around the side of the ball is very beneficial from that serve. But he has the ability also to open up and be face-on to the opponent when he hits the big flat one.
Game Hewitt. Four games on.
So long service game for Leighton Hewitt. 3 deuces. But still we await the first break point of this match, which has lasted just over half an hour.
Love.
Well, a bit of a miss hit there. Going for the inside-out serve. Hit a couple not quite as clean like that yesterday against Todd Martin, which went for winners, clean winners. Well, maybe not so clean winners.
30 left.
He's playing a very smart match here, Shane Shalkin, not giving Hewitt the target, playing very patiently, not making many unforced errors.
Windy out here, ball toss.
30-15.
And there's a bit of extra power, a bit flatter. Without the spin, can tend to spray a few. And this sort of game is great under perfect conditions and perhaps indoors.
Their only previous match was at the French Open on clay just a few weeks ago. Hewitt winning in 4 sets, and there are times where you think, frankly, they're playing this match on clay.
It's very much like that, isn't it?
Mind you,
Both been very patient.
A real credit to the state of the courts, isn't it, that they can play these sort of long rallies.
40-30.
Yeah, I was just thinking how much the grass court game has changed over the years. I mean, you'd never see it. 10 years ago, you never saw a player hit a ball inside that would landed inside the service line and then run backwards, like these guys are doing. But courts are different, the balls are different these days. All a little bit slower, making it easier to pass. So you have to be a bit more patient. Another good game from Shalkin. He's playing very tough.
Shalkin leads 5 games to 4.
Certainly is, and he leads 5-4. Incidentally, our spies tell us the problem that required the trainer to come on court was he's got slightly sore ankles, and he asked for some painkillers, for some paracetamol, but nothing too serious. Now, we showed you the Shalkin biography 2 games ago. Here's Leighton Hewitt, still only 21 years of age. Remarkable, isn't it? The youngest ever world #1. Number 8 in the race, based simply on this year's performances, but already 14 career titles, including, of course, the US Open last year, when he played so well in the final against Pete Sampras. And I mean, for one so young to be on top of the game already, and it's an extraordinary tale.
It is. It is absolutely extraordinary. I mean, 14 titles. He's just 21. US Open, youngest player ever to be #1. And, you know, it is an incredible story. This guy has done a lot in his few years that he's been on the circuit. Who knows how long he's going to last.
There are his mum and dad, Glyn and Sherilyn. Glyn was an Aussie rules football player. That's a sport I've never understood, other than it looks like licensed mayhem.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, that's the way we like it.
Particularly if there are a few pongs on the opposition, isn't it?
No, there hasn't been any of those. There's been a couple of Irishmen come over, playing the Gaelic football, which is pretty similar. That's where the Aussie rules came from. A couple of Irishmen have come over and done very well.
Love 15.
It's the Aussie rules is a great sport because it has really everything to it. It's very physical, but it's, you know, you've got to be able to run and sprint and catch and bounce the ball and the agility. So you get a lot of the good players, tennis players that come out of Australia who have been good Aussie rules players.
15 all.
We were listening to Tim Henman talking about Sheng Xiaokan last year after he'd beaten him at the French Open and saying, if you hit into Sheng's comfort zone, he's a very tough opponent, but if you can mix it up, move him around, then he's not so good.